You've got to grab my attention. You've got to make sure that I go, wow, what is this about? Give me a page. Don't give me more than a page. Time doesn't matter unless, let me explain. So if something happens, I want that press release now.
Hi, and welcome to the Comms Hub, your podcast for all things public relations, digital marketing, and branding. I'm Nomsa Mdluli, and I'm your host. And as always, we love hearing from you. And thank you so much for interacting with us on our previous episodes. As you know, we are available on most social media platforms. So remember to hit us up on @Deshala.coms. Now, today we'll be talking about what we label the science of putting together a great press release. As you know, the newsroom is a high-pressured environment, and when you want a journalist who's busy and has to meet certain deadlines, or an editor as well, you need to ensure that your press release ticks all the boxes. Now, to discuss this, I actually have a veteran journalist, somebody who's also played such a pivotal role in my journalism career as well. He's a veteran broadcaster. He has run newsrooms at EWN and the SABC as well. And he's currently also a 702 and Business Day host. And I'm joined in studio by Ray White. Ray White, we know you have a busy schedule and you're forever busy and you're putting strategies together. But we're really grateful that you made time for us today.
Thanks, Nom. So you got 5 minutes. That's all you got. I'm that bit. You got 5 minutes. No, I'm kidding.
Ray, we were talking off air and you just told me about the droves and droves of press releases that you get in a day. As you open your emails at the start of your day, what makes you open just a particular press release? What is the first thing that pops out for you?
You've got to grab my attention. You've got to make sure that I go, wow, what is this about? Don't start out with some mundane line. You've got to grab it right at the start. First of all, you don't want to be in that group of people who I just delete. When I see a name, I will delete you. Why am I doing this? I'm not being nasty. I'm not being precious about this. But I know that from beforehand, you've wasted my time. I've read through your press release and that's it. You also may have an agenda. And if you have a certain agenda, that also is not going to help you whatsoever. Because I see a certain organization, I go, no. I will have a look anyway, maybe, but I have got so many. I've got up to 25 to 50 press releases in the morning that come through. I'm going to delete and sift through. We call it copy tasting. I will copy taste you to see if it's there or not. A lot of people want to engage with me as well. And I've learned I will only engage with them if I think we're going to go somewhere. Because once I start talking to somebody, they want to talk back to you. So I won't even start the conversation unless you make it worth my while. It sounds precious, but it is the way we have to be because we get so many. And we want the cream to be on our publication.
Yeah. And let's talk about the newsworthiness of a public, a press release, because at the end of the day, if something reaches the newsroom and you want it to reach either a news bulletin or even a show, it has to be newsworthy, right? So let's talk about that aspect.
All right, so what is news? News is, I call it a commodity.
Yeah.
We buy it, we sell it, all right? We sell our news. If we want someone to listen to our news bulletins, we have to put the best stories in there. We put the wow factor in. The wow factor is putting that top line that people need to know about right at the top. If we don't do that, then it becomes boring and they do something we don't want them to do, is they tune out and they go to another radio station. We don't want that. We want them to be with us. So we come with a wow factor. Doesn't mean we're going to lie about it. We're going to change the facts, but we're going to give you what you need to know. And that's why you listen to us. That's why you come to us on a daily basis, because we are your trusted news source, and that's how it is.
And I think that's also the perspective that publicists also need to have, right, in drafting a press release, thinking about the end user as well and what the needs are of their different audiences. Now, let's talk about what should be in a press release. You know, when I was in the newsroom as well, you go through a press release and say, this is interesting, but something is missing. And really, there's no time to go back and say, hey, please give us more information on this. What are some of the important aspects that should be in a press release? I can already think about the 5 W's and
the H.
the
Yeah,
H.
that's basically it, the 5 W's and the H. But give us context as well. Tell us what's happened. Don't assume that we know your story. We don't know your story. You tell us your story. But like I said before, you've got to make sure that the top section of it is inviting. So have, first of all, your slug right at the top, what you're going to call it. So in your press release, have a line at the top to say exactly what it is. Don't beat around the bush. Tell me. And then you got my attention. What I like as well, and it sounds like the strangest thing in the world, make it colorful. I say make it color. Put color into your your CI or your corporate imaging. Put something in there that's just going to catch my eye. Your typeface, make it interesting. And then I will start from that top byline, so that top line that you have there. I will take it from there and I'll start reading into it. And have it in pyramid form. Your best stuff first, and then it goes down tapering, but with your context. So by the time I get to the bottom, there's nothing hidden. What we do, though, with journalists is we train them to read the entire press release. Because we know very well that sometimes the bottom line is actually the top line. Yeah. So we will read through it, but please just make it easy for us.
Yeah. And let's just talk about length as well. Do you want to be reading a whole thesis in terms of what word count, what works, more especially in the high-pressured environment that newsrooms find themselves in now?
Give me a page. Don't give me more than a page. Give me a page. You can give me pictures as well, especially, and do that. Do give me pictures and make sure that they're high-resolution pictures. That's very important. 7:300 is not good enough. You have to have over 1,000 pixel count. The reason why we do that is because we need to blow them up onto a big screen. If we're broadcasters, if we're in the newspaper business, we need to publish them. So make sure your pixels are fine. And then after that as well, don't go on for too long. I've got so many press releases to get through. What we will do with that, you'll get our attention. We will then put that onto a news diary. Once it's on a news diary, a reporter then will take it and they will then implement that story. And they'll make sure that you shine. So if you're going to come with your pictures, first of all, for print or for broadcast, I'm talking about TV, and then you come with your right word count with the right top line, well, you've got me.
All right. You spoke about sending pictures as well. A lot of the times in news bulletins, we use sound clips as well. The television will also use videos. Just in terms of processing that story, would you also advise that, perhaps, I know a certain political party used to send us press releases with voice notes that, that add as sound bites. Does something like that work as well?
It depends how you do it. Now, it does work. We are looking for sound. Obviously, we're looking for something different, so we don't want to be the same as the other radio station and have exactly the same soundbite.
Absolutely.
But send it anyway. But it's how you do it. And I'll single out the police. The police can be either really good or the police can be really bad. And I'm talking about the person who reads the thing. So a man was shot today. It sounds horrible. But if the person says, yeah, we've had a shooting that happened in Johannesburg. One person was shot dead. Investigations are underway at the moment, but we do think we will be making some arrests soon. If you do something like that and you just tell me the story as a person in your press release, you got me again. You've made my job a lot easier because I don't have to phone you. And, well, that's another thing we need to get on is the availability of people, comms people. But I don't have to search. You've actually given me and you've done my job for me.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the timing of sending a press release. We have this thing in PR that certain times don't work in terms of pickup. in your experience as somebody who's been in radio programming, somebody who's also in TV programming, and you've been in the newsroom as well, what is the best time to send a press release, and does the time matter?
Time doesn't matter unless, let me explain. So if something happens, I want that press release now.
Sure.
Make yourself available, like I said. Make yourself available that if I phone you, you pick up the phone. Don't play hard to get, because maybe at that point you might think to yourself, okay, everybody needs me. And we do. But then all of a sudden you get to the point where things get very dry for you, or perhaps you're having an election and you're a political party, then you need us. So answer that phone straight away. If you want to release a press release, think about your main times for broadcasting.
Yeah.
7 o'clock in the morning is your main bulletin, 7:30. 1 o'clock lunchtime, then afternoon drive, you're looking at 5 and 5:30. Those are your main times. So release or send your press release before, say, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or maybe even sometimes the night before for the next morning, so that people can work on that. But know this, most publications look at Monday mornings, and Monday morning is your time to shine. So what you can do, most media outlets are looking for this massive, incredible story for a Monday morning. So send it on a Sunday afternoon, but alert the news editors to it, because you may find some junior sitting in the news department and they're just not even looking at the email. So make sure you pick your times. Monday morning is when you want to shine. Newspaper-wise, Sunday morning is when you want to shine. So, but remember, they've got deadlines, so don't go send that through on a Saturday afternoon for the Sunday Times. Make sure that it's sent way before that, and you prime people for that. But pick your times, because you will be rewarded for that.
Absolutely. And I mean, you get different kind of content. They're more your serious stories, perhaps political developments, or, a road accident that has happened and stuff like that. This is the kind of content that you can use either during the week or even on weekends as well. But tell us about lifestyle content as well, because there are some publicists that do work with lifestyle content. When is it ever a good time to perhaps send that kind of content?
Always. So reason why I say this is that we need to have a lighter sort of aspect to our bulletins as well. If I give you a 5-minute radio bulletin, but I give you a lovely tail end story, a funny story at the end, you will remember that. I'll never forget once I used to work for 5FM, and we prided ourselves on our tail end stories. Our funnies were our interesting story at the end. And I remember going out one night to dinner and listening to a couple at the table next to me, and they were talking about a story that I had read that morning. And they weren't talking about the political side of it. They were talking about the tail ender. So bring your tail enders. Bring your lifestyle. We've got so much bad news. And a lot of people say, how do we sell news? Well, it is bad news. We do capitalize on bad news. We all know that. But those tail enders, those lifestyle stories, those are the ones we want. And of course, if you're looking at on the lighter side of television, well then, there's all sorts of stuff you can talk about. So bring them. We want them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just to round this off, Roy.
Always call me Roy.
We used to work with Roy. Just to round it off, this has been absolutely insightful, because, there is newsrooms or even programming, there are cycles, and there's a way in which you need to present the information, like we've spoken about. What are the 5 takeaways that either communication or PR professionals should take into consideration before pressing that send button? So just 5 important takeaways.
Right. Read through it. Read it out loud. And when you type something out, read it, out loud. You will pick up your faults, your errors. Number 2, give it to somebody else to read. And I say that even if you are the editor, make sure that you give it to somebody else to read, because they will pick up those things as well. It's not about your ego. Rather have a junior even pick up an error of yours than have somebody else saying, this is wrong, and you are humiliated as well. That's very, very, very important. Number 3, the economy of words. Don't waffle. No subclauses. I always say one thought, one sentence, and keep it that way. Number 4, keep it simple. Keep it very simple. The language that you use, you don't have to swallow a thesaurus. You don't need that, okay? We're talking about making sure that everybody can understand it. Number 5, make sure that the top information, the strong information, is right at the top over there, right at the top. And I'll give you a 6th one as well. Make sure that it comes out in a timely fashion, okay? We're not going to wait for it. And also as well, other people may have their stories in the news because you hesitated. But don't be first with the wrong story. First with the right story. Accuracy is absolutely everything.
Ray, it's always a pleasure being in your company. Always so insightful. As I said, he's a veteran. So you don't have to drag stuff out of him. He just knows what he's talking about. And this has been Ray White, who's a veteran journalist. I hope that you have been able to gain some insights, because things might look simple, but the spaces in which we share this information is quite dynamic and complex, and you've got to understand how it works in order for the messaging that you're trying to convey to actually land and to ultimately make it on air. So we appreciate Ray for having us in studio. As always, as I said in the beginning, we enjoy hearing from you. So just ensure that you leave your comments on our YouTube channel. You can also interact with us via LinkedIn, as well as X, Instagram, and Facebook at Tishala Comms. We love hearing from you. We love your interactions as well. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you for being with us here on the Comms Hub.